Alrighty then, we decided to pack it in and head back to the house. I had a water pump inside the camper, which got hot and started smoking, so I disconnected it, and I was thinking, well, I could do some rewiring on this when I get home and order up a new water pump for it and do some different stuff like that. So I just told Honey Baby, let's just pack everything up and go home, and I'll work on the camper. Part of this camping trip was all about getting everything ready for our bigger camping trip that's coming up in a few weeks. So we sort of test drove Charlie and the camping experience and the camper and everything, and I've got kind of a list of things that I can work on the camper to make it better for the big trip. So we'll go home and I'll mess around with it a little bit. See y'all. Okay, we're back home now. We got everything sitting out and drying out. One of the things that happened was this water pump burned out in the camper, so I went online and ordered a new one, and I also ordered a 12-volt coffee pot and a plug to mount for that, and I'm going to wire this thing. I'm going to put one in from my battery in the camper. I'm going to put this plug right over there in that corner. I'm going to wire the other end of this to my truck battery and have it where I can plug it in right over there when I put the camper on, so that I can crank the truck and charge the battery. I've got a long drop cord set up, but it's kind of awkward. And I got some heavy duty wire that'll just about fit these little plugs here. And I think, well, that'd be good enough for charging that, for like making coffee and stuff like that in the morning. So I'm gonna work on that a bit. So y'all might remember some time ago I was gonna wire my truck to run the winch, the 9,000 pound winch that I have on my trailer. And along those lines, I bought these plugs. When I got these plugs, they were too small to do what I wanted them to do. The biggest wire you can get into that is that. And I thought, well, that probably ain't big enough to run a 9,000 pound winch, but it's probably big enough to run a coffee maker. So what I did was I hooked these two wires right here to the battery, and these two wires right here run to the battery on my truck. So my thinking is, when we get ready to make coffee, well, actually what I can do is plug that in every time I load the truck, and we can charge the battery on the way to the campground. And if we're at the campground and let's say we're making coffee and the battery gets tired, I got a voltmeter right here. You can see right now that's down below 12. So my thinking is, when I hook that wire, that plug together, that should automatically come up somewhat, because it should reflect the voltage that's in this truck battery also. And on top of that, when I crank it, it should come up even more. So that's what I'm going to do. I can sit here on the dash and watch me. If you can see me. That's what I'll do is, fall off of there. Now y'all sit straight. Y'all sit up straight now. Pay attention. So this goes like this. Plus side to plus side. Only fits one way. Boom. That is now connected. See how pretty that is? Let's go see what the voltmeter did, if anything. I didn't see it move a bit, did you? Let's go start the truck up and see what it does. Oh yeah, she's jumped up there now. So I know the connection is connected and working. And see, immediately with the truck running, battery gets hotter, and it gets hotter even still, you know, as we drive it along and let it charge. So I'm going to call that good. I'll put my battery cover back on there, and I can unplug that when we're not using it, so that so like if we park the camper, I'll unplug it so that the coffee maker won't run down the battery in the truck. That's that plan. And you know what? That's the end of that. We'll call it good. We doggies. Oh, I like that. Okay then.